KUGAN CASSIUS IFLTV here in Birmingham. Delighted to be joined by Mr. Adam Smith.
Hello, Coog.
Hello, mate.
How are you?
All right.
Good. Good night.
It was a good night. Very difficult and tough night for Galal.
Yeah, really tough. I thought Francisco Rodriguez was fantastic from start to finish. I thought he sort of smiled his way into the ring and smiled his way out of it. And in between, threw an incredible amount of punches. He was relentless. And I think he took Galal to a place that Galal obviously hadn't been before. It was a very good amateur against a really hardened professional. And Galal got off to a bad start. He was hurt. I thought he recovered a little bit. He showed some composure, but never really hurt Rodriguez. And the problem was that he just didn't stop. The cuts were bad both ways. It was a savage battle. And I think Galal deserves a huge amount of credit for getting through it. I didn't think he would in the last sort of couple of rounds, but he did. He made it to the 12 rounds. But yeah, a big victory from Francisco Rodriguez. And yeah, he piled on the rounds sort of after the third or fourth.
Speaking to Eddie Hearn there, and asked him if the fight, in hindsight, was too soon. But in the weight category they're in, it's not really, because we know it's almost similar to the women's division where things can be elevated very quickly and you get your opportunity. You've got to take them when you do, because the pool isn't that depth.
You're right. And he came off a great victory over Sonny Edwards, who's a former world champion. So, yeah, it's a tough division to be in at flyweight. And the guys in Japan, the guys in Mexico, they're warriors, and it's never easy. And so, look, he's an Olympic gold medalist, unbeaten in 9, 7 knockouts. Thinking maybe the Mexican having 47 fights over a 15-year career, 280 odd rounds before the first bell here. Maybe you think that it's the time to take him, but yeah, they got it wrong. Galal was beaten by the better man tonight, and I don't think there'll be any excuses. I think he slightly got the tactics wrong, got sucked in to the lair, and that lair was pretty difficult. Powerful Rodriguez, body shots were great, just non-stop. But really good action in that fight and in the Conor Walker fight. Really enjoyed the night. Disappointing for Birmingham for Galal, but he's 32 and he'll take a rest and he'll come again.
Right, there are many things I could talk to you about that I'm not going to talk to you about, but there is one little...
TMA? Wasn't she brilliant? I'm a big fan already. I've watched her sort of in former fights and amateurs and in all her different combat sports as well, but never seen her live. And yeah, I was blown away by that professional debut. I think we're going to have an exciting journey there.
Very exciting. Let me just finish off asking you about the viral comments of Mr. Froch this week about, or the last couple of weeks, directed at Anthony Joshua and also Eddie Hearn, etc., but insisting that he thinks that Joshua should call it a day. And he also says that Eddie Hearn should be telling Joshua to call it a day. Look, you know Carl Froch very well. Part of it, my opinion, is Froch being Froch, but obviously he gives his opinion, etc. But I suppose you're in agreement with me that Joshua still has something to offer in this heavyweight division.
Yeah, very much so. Carl will say what he believes. That's what he does. I'm close to Carl, and some of the things he says are, you raise your eyebrows, but he knows his stuff as well. It was actually great to commentate alongside. Very, very close to him when we were at Sky. But Carl will say what he believes, and that's what people love and hate about him. And he'll never just follow the crowd. And he believes that. Eddie and Carl and AJ all pretty close, through the matchroom days. And look, I think Anthony got badly taken apart by Daniel Dubois, but he's not old. I think there's 2 or 3 more fights in AJ. I'd like to see him fight Tyson Fury. That's the fight the casuals want to see. I think it's the right time for it to happen. But even if Deontay Wilder wins in a few days' time, that's a fight that can be made. Obviously,
it's a huge fight, isn't it?
It's a huge fight. AJ Wilder's a massive fight because of their personalities, the characters, the jeopardy in it, I suppose, and also a rematch with Dubois, maybe if he loses to Usyk or obviously he beats Usyk. So look, there's many that can be made, but the fight I still want to see made is Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, and I think it will happen. But Carl will be there. if it does, as you will be, as I will be. It will be brilliant, and it'll be brilliant for boxing because we waited for that fight for a long time.
Eddie Hearn has ruled out Jared Anderson. He was being linked with a fight with Joshua, and he's also said they're not waiting for the winner of Usyk and Dubois to kind of work on Joshua's next fight. So maybe for his next option, there's a couple of fights that we can rule out, according to Eddie Hearn, as per today.
Yeah, look, it's a huge pool of heavyweights out there, and what do we want, or what is, more importantly, what does Ben and Freddie and everybody want for AJ? It's almost a year now, or it will be probably by the time he's back in the ring, since the defeat to Dubois. Is he looking for a sort of sharpening tools type of fight, or is he going to go straight into a biggie? I mean, at this stage in his career, I think they're all big fights. So I'd like to see him in with one of the top five. So that's what I'd like, but they might have other plans. For me, it's all about Joshua trying to, fight for our world title again. He wants to become a 3-time heavyweight champion of the world. Usyk, Dubois have got to do their business. Where does Joe Parker fit in? There's just so much up there and around the heavyweight division, but there's just massive fights to be made. And we know that with Turkey Al-Sheikh in there and Frank and Eddie working together, they're going to be made. So it's just watch this space, isn't it?
Absolutely. Adam Smith, thank you very much for your time, and no doubt we'll catch up with you again soon.
Cheers, KUGAN.